This is not obviously a gun channel, so this is the quick disclaimer, but I got a new Bergara because I'm going on a Western elk hunt this fall, and I know things are getting a little tight on timelines, but procrastinated a little bit. So I brought in none other than my friend Richard, who said, I asked, how confident are you in building this gun? He said, if I do a once in a lifetime sheep hunt, I'm gonna build my own gun. So I said, okay, all right, good enough for me. So we have a brand new, this is actually brand new, Hawke just released it, the Mountain Hunter Endurance 30 FD. Really excited about it. Honestly, I've already taken it out of the box and peeked through it, and I'm excited to get it on the gun. We want to showcase this getting built and having a new elk rifle. Like I said, this is not a place to come and potentially learn, but nonetheless, it's pretty exciting to build this out, and it's gonna be even better to watch Richard do it. So what are we doing first?
So quick disclaimer, we're not building a gun, Jacob. We're not buying a chassis and a barrel and everything, but this is a really nice Bergara. I'm gonna set Jake up with a rail, scope rail, and then we're gonna throw on this lovely Hawke optic, as he said. Probably the most crucial thing for long distance is gonna be these levels, scope level. Go on your top of your scope and then one on your receiver to make sure they're both all leveled up. Now I got a little bit of Loctite for the rail to make sure that this is very secure. We're never gonna take the rail off, so I'm okay with using red Loctite here. For the rings, you might wanna use blue Loctite just because it is removable. But for this, I'm totally fine with red Loctite. First things first, always visually and physically inspect the gun is empty. Pop the magazine out. So we are clear. These mounts are the same as a Remington 700 mount, I've learned. So I got a little flat spot here that goes on this part of the receiver, and then the more curved end will be at the end of the receiver by the barrel. Just go ahead and clean that off. There's really no factory oil or anything on these. They're pretty clean. Inspect for any dings or grooves, nothing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that on top of there. We have our factory supplied T15 screws, and I'm just gonna drop these in and just get them started. And I'm not gonna crank on these right away. It's kind of like when you first build an engine, you're putting the head on. You do it a little bit at a time. I'm gonna do it from the inside out just so it has even clamping pressure. Any of you motorhead guys will know you don't wanna just start tightening every single bolt super tight when you're building an engine. This isn't an engine, but it is high performance. Hopefully we'll get Jake a big elk with it. I've forgotten one important thing. Did you catch it?
Loctite.
Forgot the Loctite. Okay, that's all. I'll slap a little bit of Loctite on. And if there's something I'm doing that maybe you guys would do differently, let me know. Because again, not an expert, but I've mounted every scope I've ever hunted with. And I've never had a failure, even when I've dropped guns. I for sure have. That deer I just got back, that's the gun I dropped on the scope right as I was getting ready to walk out to the field, and it still shot fine. We're gonna get these screws, get them seated. Now let's get into the scope rings. This scope ring does come with a quick detach option. I'm not gonna use this just because if something were to bump that and loosen it, I don't want that. So we're gonna use the actual provided nuts. Get a little bit better grip on there, and we don't wanna risk it. Take this top cap off. Something I always do, the side that you're going to be operating or moving the screw, I'll put on the opposite side of the action, just less to get caught up here when you're trying to load or reject rounds. So I'm gonna throw that to that side. Take the top cap off of this one. And I'm just kind of placing these really anywhere for now. Once I get the scope out of the box, I'll have a better idea of their distance they need to be on the ring. So out of the box, got the scope. And actually I'm kind of impressed here. Most scope companies, you get these and they have the really cheap elastic bands.
Yep. And
these are actually really nice neoprene. As far as something just to keep the rain off, that's pretty nice. I am pretty happy with that. We have to adjust it for Jake's eye relief. So we will get this kind of close, at least where the scope will hold within the rings. Then I'll have Jake pick it up, kind of get comfy. You might have him lay down and prone and see where his eye relief will naturally settle, because I've mounted a scope before and you go to shoot it like in a blind sitting, and it's just like, man, how did I set this relief? So we're definitely gonna try prone, because I'm guessing that's might be your shot. Another thing with these rings, I just now noticed this. A lot of the lower quality ones, the gap between the lower ring and the cap, it's not even. It can go side to side, and I always try to get it in the middle so it's even. But these Hawke rings, very minimal gap. It's enough to where it can push clamping force on it, but the gap here between the two rings is very minimal. So I like that a lot. That gives me more confidence because I've mounted a scope before and I'll have, you know, a 1/4 inch up on here and then the other end will be bottomed out. So I'll have to loosen that end, bring this end down to where they're at least level. But these Hawke rings, they're very true to fit to this 30mm tube. Okay, we'll get a quick level check. This won't be the final level adjustment, but let's help us out. So this is truing up the level on our base, and this will true up our level on the scope. I will twist the gun in the vise until it is close to level, and it doesn't have to be perfectly level. As long as this is matching this, then we are good to go. But again, this will be something we'll finalize once I get Jake's eye relief set. Another thing you want to check when you get a scope on is your ability to manipulate your bolt. We got plenty of clearance there, no worries. Safety, same thing. Make sure you can manipulate your safety. I do have a muzzle loader where the hammer hangs like right here, and I have to like get in there, and so it does make a difference. Ring size, as far as height goes, I like to get them as close to the barrel as possible. Obviously, I don't know what height these are. Medium. So like when in doubt, go medium. That's always a safe bet. You might have been able to get away with a lower scope ring, but you actually might not have too much room back here to manipulate things because that's already pretty close to the scope. If you lower that even more, you might be banging your finger. So I think medium was a good choice. Gap on the barrel, that's good. I've got some that are dang near touching, but as long as it's not a couple inch above, like it's fine. This is a good setup. I'm confident this will be good. So let's fit Mr. Jake.
That feels real nice.
And when you're doing this, you're gonna wanna do it at full maximum zoom because the lower power eye relief is gonna have a longer focal length, or eye relief, I should say. Zoom that sucker all the way in, because that's likely where you're gonna be shooting from, that magnification. All right, now come off the gun and seriously, like picture an elk and you have to snap down your gun quick. Okay. Like imagine like, oh, there's a 350 incher, get on him, get on him, get on him. How's it look?
It was quick, it was pretty cool.
Okay, now close your eyes, do the same thing.
You gotta say it's a giant, hurry up.
Oh, there you go, okay, over the hill. No. Keep your eyes closed and let your face naturally settle.
Okay.
Yep, now, how's it look?
Good.
Got to bring it up, that cheek rest up. He has an adjustable stock comb here, so we'll adjust that up a little bit just because if you really sink your face into that stock, you're going to be below the scope. So close your eyes, sink in comfy, open your eyes.
Perfect.
Dead on?
That's money.
Money?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. So we've got our distance for where the scope needs to be. I'm okay with the ring placement. Generally, I don't want this ring touching as far as the back of the objective or the front bell housing. So you got a gap there, plenty of gap here, and then another gap here. So go ahead and tighten that up, get it leveled, and I think you'll be good to go. So first we'll level the gun. Let me take our scope level, place that on top. I'm gonna crisscross pattern these. All right, so we're throwing Loctite on here as an extra precaution. Out west, I wouldn't want to take the chance either. Check our level again, just because I have been messing with this ring. Yep, it shifted a little bit, so re-level everything. I probably should have did Loctite first, but that's okay. No mistakes. Just learning experiences. Level looks good. And one final test I'll do is I'll look straight down the axis of this gun where I can see the crosshairs and kind of draw an imaginary line through the gun and just a double check to make sure nothing's not crazy off. And this looks dead nuts in the center. So we have a good vertical reticle, and the horizontal we'll check later on also. But from just eyeballing it, it looks dead nuts on. Got our throw lever here for Jake's scope. That goes on the magnification ring. That way, instead of having to squeeze this to change your magnification, you'll just have this little lever here. You can quickly grab and just zoom in and out like that. So make it a lot easier for him in the field if he gets a really up close shot all of a sudden. Got that installed. Everything's Loctited. Scope is level. Now all that's left is to shoot it. All right, so Jake's just gonna get a feel for the gun. Obviously, it's way too windy today to be sighting anything in. First shot with the gun, right, Jake? And we're just gonna see how the recoil is. We got a nice muzzle brake on this thing. Yeah, first shot, first impressions. Here we go. That trigger's light.
What's that?
The trigger's light.
I know. There's like no recoil.
Yeah, that muzzle brake.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it takes
like,
all the recoil out.
It's like 0.
Yeah, and that's a 7. Bring that over here.
7 PRC.
This is a 7 PRC.
It was like shooting a 22.
Yeah, that's a big round. And no recoil, you said?
No, I got the aftermarket limb saver. I used to shoot a lot of 12 gauges as a kid. 12 gauge slug gun.
So compare this to a 12 gauge.
Not even. My muzzleloader kicks way harder than this.
Good. So you shouldn't have any flinching problems. But yeah, that muzzle brake, that's the winner right there.
I'm gonna give a channel. It was Review This Thing. They did a video on it, and they do a lot of really good review videos, and they sold me on it because it was kind of expensive. But I was like, well, this is gonna be the gun. Got a really good scope, got everything built out, and this thing would actually be a joy to shoot. I should have bought a higher caliber.
Now, obviously, we're not very far away, but I don't think Jake's gonna have a hard time getting this sighted in. It's dead center. So good signs. All right.
Alrighty.
Shot number 2. Yeah, it barely kicked your shoulder. I'm watching it now. It's crazy.
It's like nothing. Yeah, it's sweet.
And what model is that?
What's that?
What model is it?
Bergara B-14
HMR?
HMR, yeah. Hawke Endurance 30 FD, Area 419 muzzle brake. You can only read and watch so much on YouTube, and you have these expectations or ideas, and then you finally get in your hands and you shoot it, and it's like, oh yeah, it's a pretty sweet gun. Pretty sweet gun. We got one more we'll send through.
Let me shoot the last one.
What's that?
Let me shoot the last one. Oh, wow. That's less than my muzzle loader.
What's that?
That's less than my muzzle loader.
Yeah.
Like, I purposely put my hat in front of the scope.
Yeah.
Because my muzzle loader will throw it off my head. And it just went,
yeah.
You can see the video. I mean, that's crazy. All right, last step. We have everything torqued down. Jake's shot it a few times. Eye relief is good. Really likes the feel of the gun. Almost no recoil because of that awesome muzzle brake. We're gonna take a silver Sharpie and go around and mark all of these screws, mark these side screws that we've tightened up, and make sure that we have a visual to know if these come loose. This is a great last step to do. If you notice the lines are out of alignment, immediate recognition that you know that the screw is loose. So let's just finish that up, and Jake will be good to go after we sight in.
Real quick, if you want to save 15% off anything at Hawke Optics, you can use the code WHTL. So this scope here retails for $779. You're going to be around $662 for this scope, which I feel is, for the money, one of the best options out there. And maybe you are needing some binoculars. These are the laser range finding binoculars that are really awesome. This is probably one of the most exciting things that I'm going to be using this year that is new. I've always wanted to use them, and you can save 15% off with code WHTL. Appreciate it. We'll see you.